Long time ago in an African village called Eziocha. Eziocha is a land filled with beautiful and hardworking men and women. The land is also blessed with crops, animals, and all kinds of mineral resources. The village is also known for their fishing skills and hunting skills. They all lived in peace and harmony. One day, something mysterious took away their peace and happiness. Meanwhile, in that same village lived a man called Okonkwo. Okonkwo was a very greedy, wicked, and a selfish man. He had a wife who gave him a daughter, but the wife later died, leaving her 10-year-old daughter in the hands of her wicked husband. When she was alive, he maltreated her because she couldn't give him a son. When the wife died, he sold her daughter off to an old man because of money. Okonkwo was never satisfied with what he had, even when he has a lot of land, crops, and all kinds of farm animals. He is also a skilled fisherman who is known for always catching the biggest fish in the land. As time went by, Okonkwo married a second wife, a beautiful, kind, and hardworking woman named Ogechi. He married her not because he loved her, but because he wants her to give him children, especially sons. 3 years into the marriage, Okonkwo started maltreating Ogechi, his wife, making her do the most difficult works, beating her, starving her, and sometimes he makes her sleep outside at night. All this because she couldn't give him a son. Sometimes he says some mean words to her like,
"You stupid and lazy woman, you cannot even give me a common child. You are a shameless and fruitless woman to me and your entire generation. You are better off dead than being alive because you are useless to me."
Whenever Okonkwo says those things to her, it hurts her a lot and makes her cry. But she kept on hoping that one day the gods will bless her with a child. In that same Eziocha village, there has been a rule that has been passed down from generation to generation, most especially to the fishermen, that on no account should any man catch or kill any golden fish. And nobody seems to know or tell the reason behind those rules. No human has ever dared to break it. One day, Okonkwo went for fishing with some of his friends. There were 3 in number, Okonkwo making them 4. As they were in the river fishing, they caught many fish. One of them requested they go home, that they have caught a lot of fish. They all agreed, except Okonkwo. Okonkwo insisted on catching more fish, even if he makes him go home at night. The 3 friends left him alone and went home. What the 3 friends did not know is that Okonkwo has an evil plan and intention in his mind. His plan was to catch the big fish and sell it at the neighboring village, because he believed selfishly that he will make a lot of money by doing so. Okonkwo waited for hours looking for the golden fish. Luckily for him, he saw a very big fish with a beautiful golden skin passing. Okonkwo, being a skilled fisherman that he is, caught the fish immediately and killed it. He secretly went to a neighboring village that night and sold it off at a huge amount of money. He happily went home feeling satisfied with the money he made. When he got home, he saw his wife sleeping outside the house. He started beating her and even poured water on her and asked her to go to the stream and fetch back the water that night. Ogechi hurtfully obeyed and left for the stream that night to fetch the water. When she got to the stream, she started crying bitterly, questioning the gods why they have abandoned her and why they don't want to give her a child. While she was still crying at the river, her tears dropped inside the river and it started raining heavily. She was surprised why it was raining, because they were obviously not in a rainy season. But little did she know that there is a mystery behind the rain. The golden fish that her husband caught and killed was a river goddess, the daughter of the river queen. The rain that was falling was due to the tears and cries of the river queen, who lost her daughter in the hands of a human, so she is crying for vengeance. Ogechi passed out immediately beside the river. While she was still unconscious, She had a dream when a beautiful lady came out from the river and touched her stomach and went back into the river again. Then she woke up a few hours later and still saw herself at the river. She was confused and couldn't understand the dream too. Little did she know that the dream she had was real and that the river goddess actually blessed her with a child. She stood up and went home. When she got home, her husband has already locked her out, meaning she's going to sleep outside the house again. The next day, it kept on raining in the village. The rain was flooding the whole farmland and destroying their crops. The whole villagers were confused why everything was happening and why it was raining heavily too. This continued for days and weeks. It kept raining every single day in their village. The village chief and some elders had to go ask some questions to know why it's raining in a dry season. But the gods were silent. This happened for months and the whole villagers were scared. Ogechi was already pregnant. Her stomach was already out and big and almost due to deliver her child. When she found out she was pregnant, she was so happy. She thought this would change her husband and stop him from maltreating her. But rather it was worse, because her husband went to a herbalist one day and discovered that her wife was pregnant with a child, and it was a girl. This made him more angry, and he sometimes said bad things to her.
I just wish you would die with this pregnancy you are carrying, because you are useless to me. You can't even give me a son. If you eventually survive with this thing you are carrying, then I will sell you off to a rich man and use the money and marry another woman that will give me a son. Useless woman.
Those words always hurt Ogechi. But the only hope and happiness she has now was her unborn child. On the 9th month of the year, Ogechi went into labor and delivered a very beautiful bouncing baby girl. Immediately the child was born, it stopped raining mysteriously. Ogechi carried her in her hands and named her Mirima. Okonkwo for once didn't see his child because it wasn't a boy. He don't even take care of them or give them money for feeding or clothing. He would rather spend it on village women and drinking than give it to his wife and child for their upkeep. Mirima was growing beautifully. She kept attracting gifts and money to her and her mother. She grew up to become a beautiful, smart and intelligent child, and Ogechi was so proud of her daughter. Okonkwo even started maltreating her daughter at a young age, and even started threatening to sell her off to a rich old man. This sometimes makes the mother sad. One day, on their Eke market day, tragedy struck. 6 men got drowned in the river mysteriously. Most of their bodies were not found. The villagers didn't really take it serious. They all thought it was just an accident, and they all moved on with their lives. The next Eke market day, 6 men got drowned in the river again. This got the villagers worried that they started asking questions, and why it's only men that are dying. But the gods were silent. The men started avoiding the river. They stopped fishing and bathing in the river. But this didn't stop the deaths. Once it's every Eke market day, unknown forces will draw some men to the riverbank unknowingly and drown them to their deaths. Ogechi started noticing her daughter's strange behavior. She leaves to the stream very early in the morning and come back late at night. Sometimes she talks to herself, and she do things children of her age can't do. One day, her mother secretly followed her to the stream one morning and hid behind a tree. She saw her daughter talking to a beautiful lady inside the river, in a language she cannot even understand. The face of the beautiful lady she saw was exactly the one she saw in her dreams years back. She ran home with fear. When her daughter got home, she was scared to ask her any question, but later got the courage to ask her the questions. Ogechi called her daughter Mirima to ask her where she was coming from by that time of the night. Mirima replied her and told her that she just went to the river to play. Her mother then told her that she followed her in the morning to the stream and saw her talking to a beautiful lady at the river and asked her who the lady is. Mirima immediately knew she can't lie to her mother anymore and started telling her everything. How someone killed the golden fish and how the goddess is taking her revenge on all the men in the village, and that she will stop at nothing till she wipe out all the men in the village. And that this will only stop until the person that committed the crime is found and brought to justice. Ogechi was so scared that she went to her husband and told him everything their daughter said. Okonkwo already knew that he was the one that caused the whole problem in the village. Instead of him to confess and tell his wife that he was the one, but rather he started beating her and chased her and her daughter out of his house, never to step foot into his home again. Meanwhile, the village elders went back to ask questions. Then the chief priest told them that they should look for a girl called Mirima, as she is the only one that has answers and solutions to their problems. The village men went to Okonkwo's house and asked him where his daughter was. He lied and told them that his wife stole his things and ran away with her daughter, so they should not ask him about them again. The men left and went in search of Mirima and her mother. Few days later, they later found them, where an old woman took them in. They confronted Mirima and asked her questions about everything. Mirima told them everything and also told them that they have till the next Eke market day for the person that did it to confess willingly, or the whole village will be wiped out at once. The village men left and went home and gathered the whole men in the village to question them. But nobody said anything or knew anything about it, especially Okonkwo. He still denied and didn't say the truth. A day before the Eke market day, the villagers ran to Mirima for her to plead to the goddess to spare their life, since nobody has come out or agreed that he killed the golden fish. The whole village were suffering too much, all because of one man's greed. Before then, Mirima already knew that it was her father Okonkwo that caused the whole problems in the village. But she was giving him chances to feel remorseful and confess willingly. But he still remained cold-hearted despite every tragedy that has been occurring in the village. So she had no other option than to mention his name and instructed the villagers to bring him to the river the next day, which is the Eke market day. They all went home that night and captured Okonkwo and locked him up, waiting to take him to the river the next day. Okonkwo for once did not feel remorseful, but rather blamed Ogechi and Mirima for bringing bad luck to him, and even threatened to kill them. He said that he would rather die than beg anyone or any god for forgiveness. The next day, they took Okonkwo to the river. When everyone has gathered to the river bank, Mirima called upon the river goddess and immediately she appeared and took Okonkwo into the river. When Okonkwo noticed that he is drowning, he started shouting and begging the goddess to spare his life. But it was already too late for him. Before the goddess disappeared into the river, she thanked Mirima and blessed the village again. With a smile on her face, she vanished with Okonkwo. The villagers were happy and free again. They all thanked Mirima for helping them bring back peace in their land. Ogechi later remarried a good, rich and handsome man, and she and her daughter Mirima got the happy and comfortable life they deserved. The end. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you all enjoyed the story. Please support our channel by subscribing, liking, commenting and sharing the videos. Thank you so much guys. Till next time. Bye.